Good evening, students. Welcome back to our BSc first year physics class. Today, we are going to start with a new point, that is kinetic theory of gases, in which we are going to discuss its introductory part, a concept of ideal gas, some assumptions of kinetic theory of gases, then mean free path, derivation for the pressure of a gas, some gas laws, Maxwell distributions, degree of freedom and law of equation of energy, applications of specific heat capacity of gases. So let us start one by one. A kinetic theory of gases, a theory based on a simplified molecular or particle description of a gas, from which many gross properties of the gas can be derived. Okay. So in 18th century, the British scientist James Maxwell and Austrian physicist Boltzmann in the 19th century established the theory which became one of the most important concepts in modern science. The simplest kinetic model is based on the assumptions that are: first assumption, the gas is composed of a large number of identical molecules moving in a random direction, and they are separated by a distance that are large compared with their size. First assumption is the gas is composed of a large number of identical molecules moving in a random direction, and they are separated by a distance that are large compared with their size. Second assumption, the molecule undergo perfectly elastic collisions, means there is no loss of energy with each other and with the wall of the container, but otherwise do not interact. Means the collisions which are occurred in the gas molecules is a elastic collision in which no energy loss with each other as well as with the wall of the container. Third assumption, the transfer of kinetic energy between molecules is heat. The transfer of kinetic energy between the molecules in the form of heat. These simplifying assumptions bring the characteristics of gases within the range of mathematical treatment. And what is that we have to discuss in today's lecture. Okay. So such a model describes a perfect gas and is a responsible approximation to a real gas, particularly in the limit of extreme dilation and high temperature. Such a simplified description is not sufficient to precise to account for the behavior of gases at a high densities. So by using these three assumptions, we are going to understand the all concepts related with the gas behavior of gases. Based on the kinetic theory, pressure on the container walls can be quantitatively attributed to a random collision of molecules, the average energy of which depend upon the gas temperature. Okay, because the total kinetic energy can be transferred in the form of heat. So that random collisions of molecules, the average energy of which depends upon the gas temperature. So pressure can therefore be related directly to the temperature, and density. How? That we have to discuss. It means what? The pressure can directly correlate with the temperature as well as density. What is the relation between the pressure, temperature and density? That we have to find out. So, many other gross properties of the gas can be derived, such as viscosity, thermal, electrical conductivity, diffusion, heat capacity, mobility. That property can be find out. In order to explain the observed deviations from perfect gas behavior, such as condensation, okay, the assumptions must be appropriately modified in such a way that we can understand and we can find out a deviation of a perfect gas behavior. So, let us discuss one by one. When Boyles discovered the law in 1661, that is Boyle's law, which explains the behavior of gases by considering that gas are made up of tiny atom particles. The actual atomic theory got established more than 150 years later, and we can understand the kinetic theory explanation in detail. That kinetic theory explains the behavior of gases based on the idea that the gas consists of rapidly moving atoms or molecules. This is possible as the interatomic forces, which are short range forces that are important for solid and liquids, can be neglected in case of gases. So, that kinetic theory was developed in the 19th century by Maxwell and Boltzmann, as we discussed earlier. It has been remarkable successful. It gives a molecular interpretation of pressure and temperature of a gas and is consistent with the gas laws and Avogadro's hypothesis. It correctly explains the specific heat capacities of many gases. It also related measurable properties of gases such as viscosity, conduction and diffusion that we have to discuss one by one in this chapter. Okay. So, move forward. First, we will discuss a concept of ideal gas. A concept of ideal gas. Many scientists had dream of having an equation that describes the relation of a gas molecules to its environment, such as pressure or temperature. So, they had encountered many difficulties because of the fact that there are always other affecting factors such as intermolecular forces. Despite this fact, scientists came up with a simple gas equation to study the gas behavior while putting a blind eye to a minor factors. Just we are neglecting that minor factors and write down a simple gas equation, and that equation is about an ideal gas equation. When dealing with a gas, a famous equation was used to relate all of the factors needed in order to solve a gas problem. This equation is known as ideal gas equation. As we have always known, anything ideal does not exist in this universe. In this issue, two well-known assumptions should have been made, from which first one, the particle have no force acting among them. No force acting among them. Second one, these particles do not take up any space, meaning their atomic volume in is completely ignored. The particle do not take up any space, meaning their atomic volume is completely ignored. On that basis, we can derive or we can understand the ideal gas equation. An ideal gas is a hypothetical gas dreamed by scientists and students because it would be much easier if things like intermolecular forces do not exist to complicate a simple ideal gas law. If intermolecular force of interaction is taken under consideration, in that case we cannot derive or we cannot understand the ideal gas behavior as well as its equation. Ideal gases are the essentially point mass moving in constant random straight line motion. Constant, random and straight line motion. Its behavior is described by the assumptions listed in the kinetic or molecular theory of gases. So, ideal gas contrasts with the non-ideal gas definitions because this equation represents how gas actually behaves in a reality. For now, let us focus on ideal gas only. We must emphasize that this gas law is ideal. Okay. Sometimes we need to understand the concept before we can apply it, and assuming the gases are in an ideal state where it is unaffected by real world conditions will help us to understand the behavior of gases. Okay, that's why we are emphasizing that this gas law is ideal. In order for gas to be ideal, its behavior must follow a kinetic or molecular theory, whereas the non-ideal gases will deviated from this theory due to real world conditions. So, let us discuss its ideal gas equation. Let us state the 4 gas variables and one constant for better understanding the ideal gas equation. The first one is the pressure, can be indicated with P, volume indicated with V, number of mole of gas indicated with small n, and temperature with the help of capital T. Lastly, the constant in this equation shown in this slide is R, and this R is known as gas constant. What is meant by R? That we will discuss in depth later. So, a simple ideal gas equation is equal to PV is equal to nRT. If number of moles of a gas is equal, small n is equal to 1, in that case PV is equal to RT. So, another way to describe an ideal gas is to PV by nRT is equal to 1. PV by nRT is equal to 1. The term PV by nRT is called as compression factor. Is called as a compression factor. So, this ideal gas law is the combination of all simple gas laws, that is Boyle's law, Charles law and Avogadro's law. And so, learning of these 3 laws, if you combine and modify, it gives a ideal gas law. How? That we have to discuss. According to Boyle's law, it describes the pressure and volume are inversely proportional to each other. Pressure and volume is inversely proportional to each other at a constant temperature and a fixed amount of gas. At a constant temperature and a fixed amount of gas. That's why P is proportional to 1 by V. P is proportional to 1 by V at a constant temperature and fixed amount of gas. It was derived by Boyle's law. If we move forward, Charles law. According to Charles law, volume is directly proportional to the temperature of a fixed amount of gas when the pressure is held constant. When the pressure is held constant. So, according to Charles law, V is directly proportional to volume is directly proportional to of a fixed amount of gas when the pressure is kept constant or held constant. So, V is directly proportional to T. That is why V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2. V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2, or in Boyle's law, P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. So, now according to Avogadro's law, volume of a gas is directly proportional to the amount of gas at a constant temperature. V is directly proportional to N at a constant temperature T. Therefore, V1 by N1 is equal to V2 by En2. V1 by N1 is equal to V2 by En2. Next one is the Amontov's law. It gives pressure is directly proportional to the temperature. P is directly proportional to T. So, P1 by T1 is equal to P2 by T2. Now, we have to use all these 4 laws to understand a ideal gas law and ideal gas equation. So, that we have to understand and we have to combine. After combination, gas at a low pressure and a high temperature, the relation between pressure and volume is equal to PV is equal to KT. PV is equal to KT, where K is called as constant for a given sample, but there with a volume of the gas. If N is the number of molecules in a sample, then K is equal to N into Ka, N into Kb, where small k is the sample for all gases. It is called as Boltzmann constant. That's why Kb, we are writing Kb, and Kb is equal to P1 V1 by N1 T1, P1 V1 by N1 T1 or P2 V2 by N2 T2 is equal to constant, is equal to constant. If P, V and T are same, then N is also same for all gases. If P, V and T are same, then N is also same for all gases. This is Avogadro's hypothesis, that the number of molecules per unit is same for all gases at a fixed temperature and pressure, and that number is 22.4 liter of any gas. 22.4 liter of any gas is 6.02 into 10 to the power of 23 into 10 to the power of 23. This is known as Avogadro's number and denoted with a symbol N. Okay, this is all about the concept of ideal gas. So remaining part of this point we will discuss in a next lecture. If you have any doubt related with this point, you can ask me. Thank you.